Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, man. I'm gonna start this one off with there's a hotline out that if you're feeling like you want to delete yourself, or if it's not even that bad, if you just want somebody to talk to, then you can dial 988. It's a 24-hour service. And if you're feeling like, you need somebody to talk to, and most times, the reason why we can't be transparent with the person next to us because we're afraid that they're going to make what we're sharing known. So that's the reason why people go to psychiatrists and doctors because you don't know them, they don't know you. In this day and age, it probably still can be put out on that, but there's a confidentiality clause. There's a suitcase involved if anything ever happened like that. But the number is 988. It was created as a deletion hotline, but it's also there. People are there constantly, and they're saying there are therapists available on there to talk you through stuff. I say that to say this, man. I can't say I was a fan. I did know about his music, but the rapper Lil Papa, it's been highly suggested that he deleted himself, and I don't even think it was a week later. Young wide receiver, he deleted himself. That's what it's highly suggested as. Both, I think they both were 25 years old, and I remember being 15, but I was living a type of life where I didn't think that 21. And it's crazy because all I wanted to do was go in a strip club. I was like, I wanted to buy my own drink and go in a strip club. But I remember sitting in my room facing the TV, and I remember thinking, the way this is going, I'm not going to see 21. God saw things different and blessed me to see 21 two times. Now we're working on the third time. But these guys have touched some, and we often equate money and fame to peace. But as the saying goes, there's certain things money can't buy. And for you to have those kind of thoughts, and I don't want to say it or respectfully that there's something taking place inside you that you need assistance with. So allegedly, Rondell Moore was found somewhere in his house. Just he deleted it. So get to the point that you don't want to go on has to be devastating to yourself. But to actually carry it out, I remember me arguing with somebody because they was like, "Man, that's weak shit, man. That's weak." And I'm like, "Nigga, that's not weak." Like either to take and drink something, to cut your wrist, to put something to your head, and to actually go through it, I think it's the opposite. I don't think a weak person do it. The weak people, they thought about it and didn't go through with it, and that's a weakness that I believe God, used. So, you know, he apparently his career was I don't think it was highly celebrated. I believe he had a lot of injuries, but the goal for people who in there is you pop one or whatever. Your goal is to reach the NFL, and you reached it. I mean, I remember talking to somebody about the guys on the bench. Like everybody on the team gets a ring, even the guys that during the season, during the playoffs, the total minutes played 10 minutes. You still get a ring, and you're gonna argue about the participation and whatever. That's what it is. So I don't know. We don't know. We'll find out later. Maybe there was a letter left, or maybe someone close to him will reveal that. But we going to say that anyone who takes that course of action to delete themselves, we're gonna I say it respectfully that there is some type of mental situation going on, and I think that 90% of the times it could have been avoided had the person sought out help. Um, I didn't search net worths or fame, but I know that that the rapper was famous. I mean, like I said, we don't know these people. We look at them from the videos, whether they're on the field. A Kansas City dude did it recently. He drove to the facility. You know what I'm saying? He drove to the facility and thanked everybody for giving him his chance, and then did did the deletion right there. So this is something that's serious that takes place, and for any of us to look at it and say it's weak, that's us not trying to understand it. It's easy to be on the outside looking in, to give your opinion on anything. So why they do that? I would have never did that. How do you know if you've never been in that situation? And to stop. There's a song and Joe Budden said he was in the bathroom and he had a gun in his hand. He was writing a note, and then his pastor called. He thought it was weird, and the song was dope. Love Joe Budden. So he's an emotional rapper. He's an emotional rapper, but he said the pastor called. He said first he thought it was weird. So the intervention is, and here's a story. There was a time in my life that I really said, man, I don't want to see tomorrow like this. And I was walking, and I had this whole plan in my mind. And I was walking, and I was talking to myself. And I didn't notice someone inside the church yard changing the billboard. I started him, he started me, because I was talking to myself loud. And hey, how you doing? What you doing? And I told him, man, I'm Greg Gold and XYZ. And he was like, hey, man, don't do that. Turn around. And I turned around, went back, and dealt with it. And so it's certain interventions that take place with some of us. To admit it to somebody, it could be weak. Imagine if someone was to come to me and tell me, I'm not looking at you like you're weak. I'm thinking, how can I stop this? So the football player reached the NFL. Even if he was injured, he didn't have the career that his counterparts had. He stepped into his dream. The rapper, once you start rapping or you stepped into your dream, it's regardless, you made it, and you're not satisfied. And it's a sad thing because I don't think that I don't think you're thinking about who you gonna leave behind. The rapper had a kid. I don't know if the other had a kid. You're just 25. You know what I mean? Maybe tomorrow will be better. A lot of things break people. They're breaking points. You lose somebody. You lose a job, and these are breaking points. These are deal breakers. But I just want to say, rest in peace to both of them guys. My prayers, condolences go out to their family, especially if there's any kids involved. That has to be a hell of a thing to tell a child what happened if and when you do it. But the number to call is 988. You can really talk to somebody. If you don't have anybody to talk to about it, chat GBT, something. Talk to somebody before you carry on that thought, man, because that is real. Mental health is real, and black men have to stop thinking, we live by a code. We can't cry. I remember growing up, we can't cry. I felt I did something terrible. My face was bust open, and I wanted to cry, but the people that was around me, you can't cry. And I remember somebody telling me, man, I know that hurt. You ain't crying. And I took that as a badge of honor. But when I went home to wash my face, as soon as I got in the house and talked to my aunt at the time, I'm crying because that shit hurt. Things hurt, and it's okay to cry. you wouldn't have tear ducts if you wasn't supposed to cry. So it ain't about not being real, not being a man. Yo, we have to change the narrative with this mental health stuff because it is real and it is taking people away from here, away from their families, and leaving the family members to think what could they do? Because there's a guilt with that. What could I say? What could I do? Why didn't I see it? So it is, man. Prayers and condolences go out to the family, to the children, to the fans, to all those involved with those situations, man. May those guys rest in peace.